All right, the NFL is officially back tomorrow. Let's predict week one. All right, guys, we're predicting week one. As you can see, I'm a Bears fan, so I may be a little biased. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna be as unbiased as I possibly can. We're just going to go with my picks week one and see exactly, what I think about the league and who I think will win. Now, we'll start with the game tomorrow night. The NFL is officially back tomorrow. Good game. Good game to start off. I mean, does it really get any better than this? Ravens, Chiefs. Ravens, a bit of a disappointment last year. I thought they were going to go further into the playoffs. They were, I believe they were the number one seed in the AFC last year, and they got knocked out in the first round. And then the Chiefs winning back-to-back Super Bowls, still the defending champions. And I think that they actually got better this offseason, which is absolutely crazy to say. So I am going to go with the Chiefs. Now, it gives a score, but that is just, it like randomly generates a score, so just ignore that. I'm not really going to predict the score. I'm just going to predict who wins. So just focus on that and not the score, that part right there. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs winning this game. It's probably going to be closer than this, honestly, than what they predict. I think it's going to be like 21 to 20 or 20. It's going to be close. 17 to 21 or something like that. I mean, it's going to be probably within 3 points, 4 points. So it's probably going to be 20 to 17. That's my prediction. I'm not going to predict scores though, so let's ignore that. Next game is a Friday night game. Surprisingly, Green Bay versus the Eagles in Brazil. Sorry. They are wearing green in Brazil, which is hilarious. But I'm going to be as unbiased as I can. I personally do not like Philadelphia. The way that they collapsed last year, yeah, they got Saquon, but the way that they just straight up collapsed last year, and I blame pretty much the whole thing on Nick Sirianni, and just the team looked very unmotivated. I'm going to go with the Packers. I think the Packers are going to win this game and surprise everyone. I believe they're technically at home because they're the ones that are actually, no, they're not at home. I don't know how it works in Brazil, but I'm pretty sure they just hate the color green at that stadium specifically because their rivals wear green and they want to kill each other over it. So that's why you're not allowed to wear green. I don't know the whole thing. That's just what I heard, but I am going to go with Green Bay over the Eagles. All right. Pittsburgh at Atlanta. I'm a Bears fan, and honestly, for the entire offseason, said that they should start Justin Fields. They did not do that. So just for that reason, I'm going Atlanta. But on the other hand, Atlanta is not a slouch anymore. They got Kirk Cousins, who had a fantastic year last year until he tore his ACL or his Achilles. They got Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, Darnell Mooney. They had Rondale Moore, I believe, but he went down. Good O-line. They just added Matthew Judon, Justin Simmons. They are going to be very, very good this year, and I hope they are. I mean, I like Kirk Cousins at a personal level and as a quarterback, but I just didn't root for him because he was on the Vikings. But now that he's on the Falcons, I can actually root for Kirk Cousins. He just seems like a good dude. So I'm going with the Falcons strictly because they're not starting Fields. And even if they were, I'd probably still be picking the Falcons. But I just think that's such a big mistake by the Steelers. There's just no upside by Russell Wilson starting. I don't get it. I don't understand. Start the young guy. That's just my opinion. This next one's going to be a little easy to me. I mean, I'm still going Buffalo. They still got Josh Allen. It's Cardinals versus Bills. I'm going Buffalo. I mean, it's not really that difficult to predict. Now, can the Cardinals surprise people week 1? Sure, yeah. Josh Allen needs to get used to his new wide receivers and not having Stephon Diggs, so they could easily shit the bed. And the Cardinals have some very, very good players on every side of the ball, mostly the offense I'm interested in, last year I really liked Trey McBride. James Conner surprised a lot of people. Kyler Murray is back. They drafted Marvin Harrison Jr. I think that they very, very well could surprise a lot of people, but I still am going to go Buffalo. I think people are underrating the Bills this year just because Diggs is no longer on the team. And I think that's just a stupid thing to do, in my opinion. So I'm still going to go the Bills. Now, this next one is my team, my game that I'm going to be watching on Sunday. This is the game that I will be strictly watching. Obviously, I have Red Zone 2, so I'll be watching every game when it's a commercial. I'm going to be paying attention to all that. I am in 4 fantasy leagues, so I have to pay attention to pretty much every game. But when it comes to when the Bears are playing, everything else is off. I am sitting down watching the Bears. I don't really care about fantasy. I don't care. I'm only rooting for the Bears when the clock hits 11 o'clock a.m. That's when the games start, my time, in Denver. But the Bears have and always will be my team. But Tennessee is another team, just like the Cardinals, that I would not sleep on this year. They're supposed to be very good. Will Levis can and probably will, or at least he has a potential to take that next step. I don't know how DeAndre Hopkins is. He kind of seems washed. He didn't have a very, very good year last year. But that Will Levis, DeAndre Hopkins connection looks pretty damn good. So we'll see about that. But who the hell else is their wide receiver? I can't even name one more. DeAndre Hopkins. Dude, I'm fucking blanking right now. Oh my god. Calvin Ridley. I forgot about Calvin Ridley. Yeah, he signed there. They got Tony Pollard. I don't know who their tight end is. Who's their tight end? Man, Tennessee is a team that I just do not pay attention to because I don't care. Which is fine. A lot of people probably say that about Chicago. But I just don't think that they're going to put it all together, at least in week 1. And the Bears, on paper, are the better team. It's as simple as that. I mean, obviously, if Caleb comes out the gate slow and our defense comes out the gate slow, he cannot get the ball to Keenan Allen. He can't get the ball to DJ Moore or Rome Odunze, which shouldn't happen since there's so many wide receivers on our team. I think our running game is going to be decent. They do have a very good defense, a D-line specifically. They did add L'Jarius Sneed, which I really liked for them. But I still think we have the better defense and the better offense. So I'm going to go Bears. And I already think, holy shit, it has us winning 39-19. That would be nice. I still think already in year 1, week 1, I think Caleb is the better quarterback already. So, or he will at least have a better game than Will Levis. I predict Caleb will probably throw at least for more than 250 yards, possibly 2 touchdowns, maybe 1 passing, 1 rushing touchdown. But I predict at least 2 passing or rushing touchdowns, depending on how it goes. But I do have the Bears winning this game. I don't know if it's going to be by that much, but that would be nice. Not much to talk about this next one. New England is in a rebuilding year, completely rebuilding. If Drake May was starting, it would be a little bit more interesting, but he's not starting, so I'm not going to go New England just for that reason alone. But even if he was starting, that roster, man, it's brutal. Like, it's disgusting. I think their wide receivers are worse than they were last year. Like, that's how bad New England is. Another team that I just don't pay attention to. Like, I don't care about New England now that they are poverty. I mean, the only thing I care about is Drake May, and he's not even playing. So I think Joe Burrow is going to get back into form. Even if Jamar Chase does not play, which it looks like he might not. Even if Jamar Chase does not play, they still have T. Higgins. They added... Who's that other wide receiver they added? I don't remember, but even if they just have T. Higgins, because they don't have Tyler Boyd anymore. Oh, yeah. Tyler Boyd's on the Titans. I forgot. Sorry. That's the other wide receiver I was trying to think of. Calvin Ridley, Tyler Boyd, DeAndre Hopkins. Even if Jamar Chase does not play, they still have Joe Burrow with that Slim Shady haircut. I'm going to go the Bengals. Not really much to talk about there. I don't think it's going to be that close either. This one's kind of interesting. This one is kind of interesting. This next one, Houston versus the Colts. Now, they're in Indiana, so I don't know. This one's hard. And I know a lot of people will probably be mad at me for saying this, but I don't care. I'm going to speak my mind. Anthony Richardson does not scare me. And he is so overhyped this offseason. Yes, he played decent in his first 4 games last year, but after that, he got hurt. I am not as high on Anthony Richardson as everyone else. Like, in all of my fantasy leagues, he was going like top 5 in quarterbacks, and I was like, what the hell are you guys doing? He's got the potential, but you're drafting him on the potential. Okay, I think Caleb Williams has a higher potential because, I mean, this is technically Anthony Richardson's rookie year because he got hurt last year. I think he only played, 4 games? I mean, I'd rather have Caleb. No offense. I'm not as high on Anthony Richardson. He still needs to prove himself as everyone else has in the league, and everyone else seems to be so high on Richardson that I'm just like, where are you guys seeing this? So I'm going with CJ Stroud, the rookie who has already proved himself. And, I mean, he could have a sophomore slump, but I just don't think he will. Not with that team surrounding him. That team got even better in the offseason. You know, they added Stephon Diggs, Danielle Hunter with Will Anderson on the other side is going to be completely insane. So I'm 100% going the Texans. A lot of people are saying this is going to be close. It is a little bit difficult, but I personally, don't get mad, I personally am not as high on Richardson as other people are. So I got the Texans winning this one. Next, the battle for Florida. Jacksonville is down at Miami. 2 teams that ended the season last year very disappointingly. I believe Jacksonville didn't even make the playoffs because they were like 8-3 at one point and then just shit the bed after that. Like, I don't think they won another game after. Maybe they won like 2. But no, I don't think they won another game after that because they didn't even make the playoffs, did they? I don't even remember. I don't think so. But, you know, Jacksonville, they added Gabe Davis. They tried to bring back Calvin Ridley, I believe. They're going to get back Christian Watson. Or not Christian Watson, Christian Kirk. And I don't know. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, he got paid this offseason, and so did Tua. Congrats to both of them, but both of them just kind of disappointed me last year. But I believe that the Dolphins are the better team. They still got Tyreek. Tua, in the regular season, when it's warm outside, he plays like a god, and they're at home. So I think the Dolphins are going to take this one. This next one, Carolina at New Orleans. This one's kind of hard to pick, too. I mean, this one's going to be closer than people think. Carolina, I like what they're kind of doing with Bryce Young. Obviously, they don't really have much of a choice. They have to put stuff around him, and they don't have the picks to do it this year. But I liked who they actually picked. Xavier Legette, however you say it. He looks like a DK Metcalf type of receiver, which I really like for Bryce Young. He looks like a wide receiver / tight end. Jonathan Brooks is also there. with Chuba Hubbard. I think Jonathan Brooks is going to get a lot of carries, even possibly by the end of the year more than Chuba Hubbard in every game. And then the Saints, who did they add? Oh, God, who did they add? Did they even add anyone? I mean, they're always in cap hell, so I don't even know if they can add anyone. Chase Young. Didn't they add Chase Young? He doesn't scare me either. You know what? This is my upset of the week because I guarantee you they're favored. I'm going to go Carolina. I think they're going to fucking come out the gate and actually get a win, which is half the wins they had last year, which was 2, which is insane. So I actually have Carolina going in there and winning against their division rival. Okay. This one is a little strange too, because nobody besides Vikings and Giants fans are going to be watching this, but we have Minnesota in New York or New Jersey against the New York Football Giants. And neither team is very interesting to me at all, especially after J.J. McCarthy went out. Daniel Jones is still their quarterback. The only reason I would even be watching this game is for Malik Neighbors, just because I want to see, 1, if he gets the ball, and 2, it's just what he can do with the ball. You know, I want to see. Personally, I want Rome Odunze to be better than him, and I want him to be better than Marvin Harrison. Obviously, he was picked 3rd. Well, he was picked 9th, but 3rd wide receiver off the board. This one's hard to pick. That's why it's interesting. Like, they're both bad teams. Like, they're both bad. But, like Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones are pretty freaking equal to me, at least. I think they're going to, they're similar quarterbacks. Obviously, Daniel Jones has been on one team his entire life and really hasn't seen success. Besides last year, they went and actually won a playoff game, which congrats to them, but it was mostly probably Brian Daboll. But Minnesota, their offense is still good. It should be good, but Sam Darnold is just like the factor. But their defense is supposed to be good with Brian Flores, so I'm actually gonna pick the Vikings. So I'm gonna go there, and then I'm gonna go a little bit quicker because this is becoming like a little bit of a longer video. But I'm gonna try to go a little quicker. Vegas at the Chargers, another division rival game, week 1. Las Vegas has Gardner Minshew. Justin Herbert is still with the Chargers, and then they hired Jim Harbaugh, which I think was probably the best hire of the offseason, honestly, in my opinion, or at least head coach hire. This one is also a hard one because the only thing is I love the Jim Harbaugh hire, but the Chargers, I think, got worse, like roster-wise. They don't have Keenan Allen. He's with the Bears. They don't have Mike Williams. They don't have Austin Eckler. All of those key pieces. And honestly, I mean, it wasn't working out for the Chargers anyway, so get rid of them while you can. They decided to keep Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack, which was a little strange. It doesn't look like they're doing like a full rebuild with Jim Harbaugh, which I thought they were going to. But they still have Jim Harbaugh. So I think the Chargers pulled this one off just because I think they have the better quarterback. I think Ladd McConkey is actually going to be pretty damn good. And then they still have Joshua Palmer and Quentin Johnston, who he had a bad rookie year, but he was just a rookie. Everyone calmed the hell down. Still picking the Chargers at home. Next one, Denver Seahawks. It's just like the Tennessee Titans, another team I forget they even exist because I just don't care about them whatsoever. Denver, I hear about them all the time. I live here. I've been living here for about 3 years, but I grew up in Chicago for 21 years, so I'm 24 years old. I've been living here for the past 3 years. I'm not a Broncos fan, never will be a Broncos fan, but I just live here. Denver, I think people are very, very much underrating them. I think Bo Nix will have a better year than most people think. Obviously, that was just preseason, so we'll have to see how he is in the regular season. Same with Caleb, same with Jaden, with J.J. McCarthy, same with, everybody. Drake May, even though he's probably not going to play in the regular season, at least for the first couple weeks, maybe several weeks, but we'll see. Anyway, Bo Nix, I think he will. I think he will impress this year, and they're underrating Denver, and I'm not just saying that because I live here. I don't really, like I said, I don't give a shit about the Broncos. But the Seahawks, in my opinion, they just don't scare me. Like I see them on the schedule, and I'm like, that's just another like 8, 9, 10 maximum. Like you're not going anywhere. I'm sorry. Like you're not going anywhere. I'm just being brutally honest. Like every time I see the Seahawks, I'm just like, they're probably gonna be average. They might make a wild card and just get knocked out in the first round. They're nothing special, but they're not terrible either. So I mean, in my opinion, the Seahawks have the better roster, so I'm going to pick them here, but they don't scare me. If they were playing anyone else, I'd probably pick the other team, but I'm picking them because they got Woolen, they got Witherspoon. Geno Smith doesn't scare me. I like Kenneth Walker, Jackson Smith and Jigba. DK Metcalf is probably one of the most underrated wide receivers in the league. Tyler Lockett is probably maybe has 1 or 2 more years in the league left until he's done, or at least done with the Seahawks. So I'm still going Seahawks here, but the Broncos could very well win this game easily, and I think the score is stupid because it's not going to be that high scoring. Washington, Tampa Bay, which is a strange week 1. I don't know why it just doesn't look right. Jaden Daniels, he was the 2nd overall pick. They put a lot of veterans around him, like Zach Ertz, Austin Eckler. Who else do they have? I don't even remember. But they have a lot of veterans. They still have Scary Terry, who could finally break out this year because he finally may have a quarterback throwing to him that actually can put the ball where he wants it. So Washington, another team that just doesn't scare me, at least this year. Those veterans, you might get a few wins, but you're probably not going to get more than 6 wins for the season. Tampa Bay. I don't mind Tampa Bay. I actually really like Baker Mayfield. I really do. Mike Evans is there. Him and Mike Evans had a very nice connection last year, and I really think that that's going to continue. Chris Godwin is there. He's still there. Rashad White. They just re-signed Tristan Wirfs and Antoine, you know what I mean, Jr. I can't think of his name right now. Antoine Winfield Jr. Isn't that what it is? Yeah. They just signed him to a deal, a pretty damn big deal. So their defense is still intact. Their offensive line's going to be decent with Wirfs. I think he's actually probably one of the only good ones there. But Baker Mayfield is also underrated. They signed him to, a 3-year, $100 million deal, which good for him. He finally found his team that wants him to stay, and I think he earned it. I think he should have got Comeback Player of the Year last year, and he just didn't get it because of Joe Flacco. But because I like the Buccaneers, and I think they're underrated, I'm going to go Tampa Bay over Washington. Okay, this one's a little interesting, but not really at the same time. I think this is going to be the battle of the defenses because their offense, it might start slow at least week 1, and this obviously is week 1. CeeDee Lamb needs to get brought up to speed, unless he doesn't. I mean, I don't know what he did all offseason, but he may need to get caught up to speed. I don't even know if he's going to play. My fantasy still says he's kind of out. I'm pretty sure he will play, but their defenses on both sides are just completely insane, and the Browns' offense just doesn't scare me whatsoever. Deshaun Watson, just forget about his personal life. He hasn't shown anything worth nowhere near that $230 million guaranteed deal. This is probably his last year in Cleveland if he doesn't show anything like he didn't last year. No good plays, no nothing like that. I mean, there was obviously some good plays here and there, but nowhere near like 2017, 2018 Deshaun Watson. Like that was insane what he did in Houston. So the Browns offense doesn't scare me. The Dallas offense doesn't really scare me either, especially on the ground. Like they have a washed up Dalvin Cook and a washed up um, Ezekiel Elliott. Like they just don't scare me whatsoever. So this one is actually probably the hardest one to pick out of all of them, but I'm still going with Dallas because they are the regular season champs. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Dallas. This next one is kind of hard to do too, but I'm gonna speed these last two up. I believe that is Sunday Night Football, the Rams versus the Lions at Detroit. Matthew Stafford versus Jared Goff. This one is a little simple. I think the Lions have the better roster. The Rams very, very well could win this game. I think they are underrated. Puka and Cooper Kupp are both healthy this year, which is a huge sign for like a very good thing for Matthew Stafford. The Lions won the last time they saw each other, which was actually the last time the Rams even played a game in the playoffs. They got knocked out by the Lions, so I think the Lions take it again because their defense and just them in general just got even better over the offseason. So I think the Lions do win this one. Okay, and then I believe this is Monday Night Football. New York Jets at San Fran. Aaron Rodgers versus his most hated team in the 49ers because they didn't pick him. I don't know. I don't really care. This one is hard because they do have good defenses, both of them. I think the Jets might have the edge a little bit on the better defense. It really depends on how up to speed and how much Aaron Rodgers can get back to that MVP Aaron Rodgers, because who knows if he will get back to it, and who knows if he can get back to it, and who knows if his his Achilles will hold. I'm hoping it does, but he is 41 years old, I believe 41. So we'll see. And honestly, I probably would have picked the Jets if they did not sign Ayuk, if they did not sign Trent Williams, and if McCaffrey didn't play. If those three people did not play, I would be picking the Jets. But it seems like all three of them are playing, so I'm picking the Niners. And those are my predictions for Week 1. That is it. If you wanted to see that one more time, that is it. I obviously... I want to relook at this. I probably won't do a video, but I want to relook at this by probably Monday or Tuesday and see which ones I got right, which ones I got wrong. Please tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Should I bet? I probably shouldn't bet. Oh, you can call me stupid. You can call me an idiot. Call me whatever you want. This is my predictions. This is what I think. I'm not an NFL analyst. I literally just watch football. And this is what I think. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good day.